Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader. It's Thursday, January the 13th. Today we're going to go over some longs and some shorts as promised, but the market sure is resilient, and every time it looks like we're going to get an intraday pullback and we get one, there's not a lot of downside follow through, that's for sure. Until we get the definitive break, we're going to continue to play it alongside. A lot communications, as you can see, broke out of this consolidation and started stair-stepping its way higher over the last few days, and today accelerated on 932,000 shares, up 5.25% or 67%. If you look at the long-term chart, you'll see that this is now approaching its all-time highs set up in the mid-teens back in the end of '06. We'll probably be pressing that range shortly, and that's our trading target, and we'll see what happens after that is achieved. Up next is ALJ. Now, this had an interesting day today. You can see the big downtrend. The stock has actually come down from about 15 down to 5. Turned it around. Well, first of all, built a nice base, formed a little platform in here. There's a little wedge of sorts, and then exploded to the upside today, jumping 101 or 15.6% on 631,000 shares. That's by far the largest volume this stock has traded in more than a year, and may be indicative of more upside to come. There is some resistance at these lows and these highs going back in here, and that'll be our short-term trading target. It's not too far from here, up around the $8 level, and we'll see what happens once it gets across that. RSC and Resco, after breaking out of this big wedge and popping, it then formed this tight little wedge, and today popped out of that for 75 cents or almost 5%. Looks like it's on its way to higher levels. We'll set a trading target at 18 on it. ARMH had a stellar day today after this breakout in December and followed by this 4-day flag, which is a beauty. The stock then has moved steadily higher from 20.5 to today almost 28, spiking up 320 or 13.3%. A monstrous volume of 26,300,000 shares. Biggest volume that I could see in this stock going all the way back many years now, probably in its history. So potentially, because the stock has moved from $3 up to 27, this could be a kind of a spike up towards the top of the channel that causes a short-term top. We'll see. Momentum is very strong. It may extend. We could see 30 or 31 the next day or so before it's over. So ride the tide, but be very careful and play it with stops on this one. CCME. After the big run in September, October, and early November, then fell into a wedge-type pattern. That wedge was broken with a thrust yesterday, and a follow-through today was a beauty, up 220, 12%, 5.1 million. Very heavy volume. We're accelerating to come up and test the former high up around 21 3/4 up here in November. That's taken out. Look for something near the 25 range, our short-term trading target. Up next is Rediff. Now, Rediff's one of my favorites currently. I love this pattern. I love the volume on the upside, consolidating a low volume, another pop, consolidation, and another run. And this stock is kind of stair-stepping its way higher. My target short term is 9.5. That's what we're looking for. RRR, after a 4-day flag pop today for $1.17 or 10.3%, 1.8 million shares. Looks like it's headed up towards 14. My short-term trading target. And beyond that, maybe something in the high teens. STEC, one of our swing trades, achieved the target yesterday. My secondary target is 23. Well on its way to that, reaching as high as 22.79 today before backing off. But still very strong action. Good volume of 3.3 million. A nice 5% pop today, and looks like it's headed towards the achieving, at this point, 23.5 3/4 is more like our goal. TTMI, big day today, jumping 312 or 21.3% on 3.25 million shares. That is a significant price volume surge and breakout, and if you can see that this line was taken out and the secondary line of resistance was tested, it should augur well. If this is taken out, by the way, it's a 5-year resistance level. Now we'll be testing that tomorrow near 18. The secondary target's at 20. UCTT. Big day. The last couple sessions were huge. Stock broke out yesterday, followed through tremendously today. Got up at 1.2. My trading target was 12.5. It hit 12.47 before backing off 70 cents. Still up 14% on $1.5 million or $1.42. So looks like this one may be headed to my next target up around 17. A longer term target up around 22. And lastly, ZAG, Z-A-G-G, which after trading for a couple months, broke out a couple days ago, paused for 2 days. Today it moved again up 52 cents, 5%. Looks like this one's headed for a run at the mid-teens, my trading target. And we'll see what occurs once it gets there. Now a quick look at some of the boxes shorts that we're currently following. They're looking kind of ugly. Dorman Products, DRM, with this left shoulder head and possible right shoulder here. Could be on the verge of a breakdown. It dropped to $1.25 today on low volume, but if it gets below 34.5 or so, we could see this stock accelerate lower. Trading target around 25.5. Eventually, short-term target at 29.30. ENOC, Enernoc, breaking out of a wedge or a bear flag to the downside today, dropping 46 cents. A retest of the lows may be in order around 23.25. If that's taken out, look for the stock to plunge down towards 20 or less. FSYS backed off a small fraction today, but it has been unable to do much except go sideways. And now that it's met the declining tops line, a break of this pattern to the downside could lead it down towards the 25, 26 area. LXK, Lexmark, had rallied back recently to the 50-day moving average. Today fell off $1.66 and may have completed the bounce off the lows. Next target around 32.5, 33, and beyond that, 30. THOR, Thor, broke down yesterday, dropped another 61 cents today. You can see that the stock did slightly break this declining tops line in 50-day moving average, but didn't do much about, couldn't get through the lateral price resistance and then fell away. If this pattern is broken to the downside here, then I would suspect that we could see a breakdown that takes this thing down into the 20-21 zone. My trading target, my secondary trading target, with an initial target being the test of the recent lows around 24. And lastly for today, a quick look at Visa. You'll see the stock got hammered in mid-December, worked its way up in a nice, what I would call a bear retracement, bear flag type of pattern here. Today, breaking down $1.47, this thing could be cracking. And if it does, look for a quick retest of 66, followed by a move down towards the 60, 61 range, maybe even as low as 58.5. That's targets for Visa going forward. And that's the long and short of it for tonight. Have a good evening and a good weekend. I'll talk to you Monday.